Hey there, friendlies. Sorry, better late than never. Big night for me. Nothing that's even remotely interesting, but still. I'll tell you what, I am run as ragged as a 10-cent whore on $1,000 night. But here I am. Let me just pull up the live streamage on the computer to make sure that all is well. You just hope that anyone out there is, is still hanging out, ready to join me. Sorry, guys. Here we go. Better late than never. 12th June live stream. Okay. So here we are. Anthony, good to see you. Sorry I'm late. I was afraid that nobody would be hanging out or willing to hang out at this point. Let me just adjust it. Sorry, LT. I put up a video to say that I'd be late as hell. We were out somewhere on the West Island doing an errand. Excuse me. Viewer that I'm doing okay. Looks like it. Volume's off. Okay. Okay. Oh, outdoor. How's it going? So, who's got a beer? LT's got to have a beer. I know LT got a beer. What you got? What do I have? Pit Caribou Bonaventure. It's an amber ale, 5%. Whoops. 5% amber ale. I do like the juice made by Microbrasserie Pit Caribou. I'm looking for... Oh. The description on this is only in French. Bière rousse au goût caramel balancée par une légère amertume résineux. This is only going to be understandable by those of us who are Quebec, so I won't do it. Hey, Serge. So, let's get the juice out, shall we? Really? Man, I've been getting so much better at this. What's going on here? What's going on here, fools? And it landed in my pocket. I'll tell you what, guys. Oh, and in honor of Mr. Mike Morton, who I don't think is with us, in a glass. Serge, what are you thinking? Oh, what are you thinking? What? What are you drinking tonight, Serge? LT. L'Abitatibi Amos Pale Ale. Okay, that's a good choice. I haven't had that yet, but I do know some people who have, and they tell me that I've got to try it. Because if there's one thing that I know a lot of people... Oh, you're not feeling well? What's up, Serge? Cheers. Slanja, if you're into the Celtic stuff. Chin chin. Oh, nice, outdoor. Heading out for a long weekend. Simone, you did a live stream in French tonight. You know, I've tuned into your live streams before because I figured why not. Oh yeah, you know that. I asked you questions in the last couple. But I'm doing it in French. That's good. What was it about this time? So hey, here's a question I have for you guys. With this trade war that's brewing between mostly chit chat. Okay, no, that's fine. With this trade war that's brewing between us and the United States, well, let's face it, at this point, between everyone in the United States, I think that all the stuff that I've been planning to buy is going to get a lot more expensive. So maybe I'm going to backseat some of my planned because I had this plan, but like there were a whole bunch of things that I was planning to pick up and do reviews on this year, but I don't think that's going to happen because I'm expecting prices to go up. Well, because I'm expecting NAFTA to get sunk, so everything is going to go up, everything that crosses a border, and I'm expecting everything to become more expensive because of all these bloody trade wars that we're suddenly about to have. So, outdoor. I don't think I'm going to be getting that knife off of eBay this year. Not unless I can get it before July 1st, which is when Canada's retaliatory trade barriers go up. But anyway, whatever. This is one of the very rare instances in which I actually support this prime minister of ours. I'm not a big fan of his. I think he talked a good game when he wanted to get elected, but he's sort of, you know, in Canada, liberals are just conservatives with better suits. You know, I've come to the conclusion that no one's good for us, but you know, liberals keep telling us that they're better for us than the other guys. I don't think they are, but that's politics. I don't want to get into it. Simone, oh, you chatted about garden tools and stuff. Okay, wait. Serge, I kind of agree with you. In fact, I think that if we still had that fool before him, what was his name? Stephen Harper. Stephen would have just rolled over and spread his butt cheeks for Trump. You know, and I'm not saying, oh, the conservatives are bad. I'm saying that prime minister sucked. You know, I don't tend to. I've become more party agnostic as I've gotten older. There are things that each party has on their platforms that I can respect. Oh, excuse me. I guess that was number one. Oh, Simone was on top of it. Serge too. No, Serge, I did not have two. Come on, man. LT, you know, it's funny. I kind of agree with you in that I feel, and this is not only Canadian prime ministers, this is British prime ministers, this is American presidents. Pick a president, French president, whatever. If I feel that if someone wants to be prime minister or president, blah blah blah, who cares? Then they're automatically the wrong person for the job. It's almost like what you need to do. I almost did, but I didn't quite. What you need to do is have like a national lottery every 4 years. I guess technically every 5 years, because technically the prime minister is, well, the electoral period. The period is 5 years in Canada. You know, but by convention, most PMs call an election every four. But anyways, I feel that every half decade, you should just like a name should be pulled out of a hat, and that person's prime minister, and they're like, "What do you mean?" It's like, no, for 5 years, for the next 5 years, this is your job. Because at the end of the day, it's not like half the people going for the job are highly qualified anyway. And in fact, I would add that maybe if your dad was in Ottawa, maybe you shouldn't be allowed to go to Ottawa. And I mean, I don't just mean prime ministers, I mean ministers of, you know, I mean ministers, members of parliament, staffers. Like maybe we should have like rules against family dynasties in Ottawa. Just an idea. Or maybe abolish the party system. You know, Nunavut has no parties, right? Everyone who gets elected runs on their own personal platform. And the effect that that has, wait, I'm missing some um, yes, we have an excuse. Did I? How's that ash log coming? Actually, I want to know too. Uh, We should simply have a box to elect by pure vote RPM, or that even, you know. Raindance Bushcraft for PM. I have way too many skeletons in my closet. Actually, Serge, that's not a bad idea. Serge says that senators should be chosen by the juror lists. That's not a bad idea at all. Oh, Simon, you dragged it somewhere to process it. Where'd you take it, man? Like, did you take it to a mill? Or did you just drag it to somewhere where you can get a chainsaw at it? Because I would love a couple of billets out of that thing, man. I do love ash. What I would like is to make friends with someone who runs a mill. Because I'd like to have access to some good wood without just going to the local big box, you know? A few feet away from your yard? Like, is there a place that mills wood a few feet away from your yard? Or, because I don't know where the hell you're pulling that thing, man. Hey, have you guys seen that Alaskan chainmill? That chain. Oh, that didn't. That was no good. Let me start that again. Hey, have you guys seen that Alaskan chainsaw mill that Sean from My Self Reliance has been using? I want one of those. First, I need to get a chainsaw. Okay, here's my 3-step process. Get a chainsaw. Learn to use a chainsaw. Get an Alaskan chainsaw mill. 4-step process. Step 4, mill some freaking lumber. Fair point, Outdoor. I could tell many tales with the skeletons in my closet. Man, I wish Mike Morton was here. I got a glass tonight, man. Where the hell is he? Oh, you borrowed a decent chainsaw from your brother. Okay. What I keep thinking of getting a chainsaw, but like I don't want to spend $1,000 on one because I'm not going to be chainsawing enough. But chainsaw mills are slow. Yeah, I know, but you know what? I can't see. I don't know what else I would get. Like I don't know what other kind of solution I would have available to me. You know? I think the biggest thing about it is I wouldn't want to try teaching myself. I would want to hook up with someone who is experienced and who can show me the ropes, you know? You're gonna quarter that thing with an oh no, you're gonna quarter it with the chainsaw. And then you'll split into billets with an axe. Okay. So like you ain't gonna split that thing. You ain't gonna quarter that thing with an axe. Serge, let me explain something to you. You don't have to justify nothing. You save up some dollars. You save up some more dollars. You save up a few more dollars. And at the end of all them savings, you got some dollars to spend upon a chainsaw. But on a more serious note, not all chainsaws are created equal. And I don't, where I'm with you is I don't think I could justify the purchase of buying like a real pro, like a Wrangler star level chainsaw. You know, I wouldn't. Okay, no, I'm not going. I wouldn't be using it enough to justify that kind of outlay. But I also don't want to buy like some crappy Ryobi that's going to break on the second log, you know? And I don't want like a little electric one because I want something that's going to. No. If there's a burp coming, I can feel it just sort of sitting there and thinking, I'm coming, but it hasn't happened yet. Too many sawmills have closed in Quebec about 10 years ago due to another lumber dispute with the U.S. Yeah. Yeah. It's like I'm gonna burp at some point. Outdoor, I would love to make an octagonal handle. I don't know how they get those lines so straight though. The nice thing about a 2.5, fair enough. The nice thing about like an oval handle is you can really smooth it and get it to just spectacular. You know, you're not there aren't these straight lines that you have to maintain. That worries me. Wow, 48-inch bar. Holy crap, dude. Boom, there it happens. I mean, there it was. There it happens. I think now we're at 3.5. Let's call it 3.5. Let's just call it 3.5. 3.5. Steel, yeah. An 8-inch draw knife. That's the thing. I am dying for an 8-inch draw knife. I want my ass a vintage 8-inch draw knife that's in good enough condition that I can bring it back to life. Like, you know, the blade hasn't been sharpened all the way. It's not, you know, it's not like there aren't chunks out of it. Something that is easy to bring back, to bring up to speed, and that I can get to use on. Because, I mean, you guys have seen my chainsaw. No. Not chainsaw. What a stupid thing to say. You guys have seen my my draw knife, right? Which is up here somewhere. Found an empty beer can. Come on, draw knife. Where the heck are you? Darn burn it, draw knife. Where the dirt? What? There we go. Idea for my next live stream. Maybe the one after. I turn on the camera and I clean this place while I chat with you guys. Because it really needs it. 10-inch, that's the problem. I find that the 10-inch is just too wide. I want an 8-inch because I've hiking deep. Hey, how's it going? You having a sudsy with us tonight? But yeah, so I want an 8-inch, a vintage 8-inch. This one's good. Look, this is a good draw knife, and you know I don't regret the purchase. There are a lot of instances where you want something nice and long. Simo's got one that's huge. He's probably commented about it. Yeah, he has a 14-inch. I've seen it. You know, but an 8-inch. I have a real yen for an 8-inch. I very briefly had one. My buddy Robin brought one over from his grandfather's place. You want this? I'm like, yes! But then he saw a couple of YouTube videos that showed him what you can use a draw knife for, aside from just debarking trees. And he's like, can I have that back? Well, yeah, of course you can. Sounds like, yeah. Echoes are good saws, not real popular around here, though. Run a steel. Everyone's run a steel at some point, or a Husky, eh? I was thinking about getting a Husky, but I don't, I'm good. No, I'm not. 4.5, I know. Hey, yeah, man, what's up with that? Only 3 or 4 thumbs up. There's 9 of you on here, man. Oh, thanks to whoever did that. Wait. Should bring in a garbage. Yeah, I know I should. Let me get back to it. Tyler Rodriguez. How's it going? What's up with you tonight? Hiking deep. No, man, I don't drink. That's legit. That's very legit. Don't let anyone ever tell you it's not. Man, you guys remember when you were like, even as adults sometimes, if you're not like, I find this because I hate tequila, okay? I find the drunk on it is kind of narcotic rather than alcohol. And like, whenever like I'm at a place and a bunch of people are pounding the tequila and I'm like, no. We're adults, so most people are like, oh, that's cool, man. But there's always someone who's like, come on. And I don't ever want to be the guy who says, come on. I think that person is automatically the biggest asshole in the room. You know? I mean, I'm not libertarian or anything, but I do believe that, you know, if someone says they don't want something or like something, no matter how many people around are way into it, we're human beings. We don't all like the same thing, you know. Um, that was a weird little tangent. Sorry, where are we? Have a point with the garbage container. Tyler, are you calling me messy? Is that what's going on here? Because I resemble that remark. I still don't like that you said it, but you know. Um, Outdoor, which do you like better, Steel or Husqvarna? Oh, interesting question. Simo doesn't like Husky. Husky has better features for the money. See, stuff like that is what I want to hear about because I've been looking them both up on the interwebs, on the YouTubes, and it's like that little point that you said is useful to me. You know. Um, oh, but you think steel makes a better homeowner saw? Interesting. Okay. Tyler, I knew it, man. You're my brother from another brother, right? We're a couple of messy dudes. The thing is, I want to be organized. I don't want to be messy. Mostly because Nate, who is who has a little OCD thing happening, and when I'm being good about keeping stuff neat and tidy, like I'm helping more, because this is technically common space down here. This isn't my workshop. My workshop is sitting in the future when I can afford to put a floor in my garage. Technically, like freezer space and you know family space, which I've taken over, and that's not really fair. Yeah, Tyler. Yeah, you get too excited about projects and forget to make cleaning part of them. Yeah, me too. Um, you know, there's something that I don't know if I brought up with you guys. The thing about doing all these live streams is, like a week after a live stream is done, I hide it, right, so that it's not clogging up. You know, the play next. Um, and what I've decided is I'm like you guys know that I like vintage tools, right? But what I'm tired of is trying to start speed the first phase of the project. I find that a lot of the vintage tools I own are stumbling blocks rather than stepping stones. And so um, I think I'm just gonna suck it up and like not for planes because let's face it, an old plane, but for things like you know table saws and stuff like that, I'm just gonna suck it up and buy brand new. Let me make sure I'm not missing. Hi, good deep man. I'm a newbie in here. I don't know any of you. That's fine, man. Hang out for a while. You'll know us all pretty soon. Interesting. This conversation about the two that sort of give me the fizz a little bit, you know. Simon Forget, which tractor manufacturer is the best? Is easy. Any Soviet tractor is good tractor. It runs forever. It's not so pretty, but it's good. To dig, to plant, to run your tractor is very good. Soviet, Russian, Ukraine, but Russia. Huh? Yeah, the video is glitchy, eh? You know what happens? Um, they're probably watching something on the Netflix right now. Oh yeah, my video looks terrible here, man. Sorry, dudes. But that's okay. My video looks awful. Let me see. I'm setting it to 720 because it was at like 144. You reloaded and the video looks better now? Okay. Yeah, because what happens is if there's like some Netflixage going on, my you know. LT, this was a fabulous, fabulous gift. I use this thing all the time. Have you? Most of you guys have seen it. Hiking, you don't know what this is all about. But a few live streams ago, I had Simon and LT on, and LT gave me this because I didn't have a Zachary. How's it going, Mister? How you doing? Yeah, so you guys are all getting sorry. But anyways, during the live stream, he gave me this because I didn't have a pocket knife, and I had lost my Leatherman, so I didn't have any tool. But I love this thing. I am surprised at how often I reach for it. Hiking, just so that you know, this is a Ganzo. Whoops. Ganzo. What is this? A Firebird. A Ganzo Firebird. They're like, LC, would you say they're like on the affordable side? What is this like? I mean, these aren't, these aren't Benchmade kind of prices. But after messing around with LT's collection of Gonzos and using this one for everything, who the hell cares? For the money, this is a great little knife. It's solid as hell. You know what you don't get when you're not spending like $200 on a knife is like, the blade's not perfectly centered, but who cares? That's a cosmetic thing. This, I'm shocked at how much I like this because I'd always spent my whole life like, meh, I don't need a folding knife. And now, yeah, I need a folding knife. I'm loving this. But because I have this, now I want the Benchmade 940. Right? Just to see how, okay, where are we? Excuse me. So, 20 bucks Canadian. It's way above its weight as far as I'm concerned. I also still want that Hella, was it the Doka I said? Outdoor. It's the Doka, right? That I was talking about? But like, that's not because this doesn't do everything. That's because I've always kind of wanted that Doka. I like the birch handle thing and stuff. Like, I wouldn't carry that as my EDC. I would take that as a hiking knife, whereas this is literally in my pocket every day. And I've used it everywhere. It's funny though, right? When you're at work, you open it like this to open a box. When you're at home, you open it like this. But you don't do that, at work. So, let's just see what I'm missing. Friend asked this question, and I asked him the same question. Go back to what you're saying. Okay. Really, when you mentioned getting better at popping the bottle with your Mora, I was going to ask how flipping that knife open is coming on. It's okay. The thing is, I don't do it all the time. As a I don't do it often enough to become really good at it. But I'm a lot better at it than I used to be. Oh, Zachary's been carrying a Boker Tech Tool 1 for 2 years now, yeah? That's a legit choice, that's for sure. You flip your rat to open at work too? Yeah, but I work in the tech writing department of a tech company. So, I think we work in different environments. Simone's still got that Ranger 74. Still a nice... I knew that Clippy Tool Rescue was gonna get more action than you thought. I knew it. As soon as I saw it, I was like, this is the kind of tool that Simone would go for. It's just bloody useful. Maybe even more than that Victorinox in some ways, though I like that Victorinox better. LTN HX Outdoors ZD030? I don't know that. I don't know that one at all. HX Outdoors. Oh yeah, but Serge, that little buck folder is it's got a nice classical look to it and everything. Yeah, the Victorinox will definitely always be cleared by Canada Customs. I'm gonna look up this HX out. Okay, so tell you what, I'm not gonna check up anything online while I'm YouTubing because if I do, I crash. I am so glad that we changed our internet service. Um, Anthony Henry carries Uncle Henry. I would look that up, but I'm afraid of, dropping out on you guys again. 311 Kingsman, yeah. Yeah, hiking, it's just, my internet situation is actually, I wonder if it's because of where I am. I thought that live streaming from this room, well, live streaming from here gets me two things. I'm right next to, I'm not right next to the router anymore. Those of you who've been watching me for a while now, this is worse than it used to be, right? Because I used to do it here because the router was right on the other side of that wall. But now it's upstairs. Thing is, I don't want to be live streaming from upstairs because that is really common ground. Like, if I do that, then I'm suddenly banishing my wife from the ground floor of the house. Don't want to do that. Zachary's swapping the Boca for a GEC 66 calf roped once it arrives. I'm going to take note of that because I want to, now that I'm not sure if I should be looking stuff up while we're talking. GEC number 66 calf roped. Gonna look that up. Oh, Outdoor always gots to mention that. Gots to? What? What am I, 12? It's got to mention that that Canadian belt knife of his. It's really cool. Let me get back to HX Outdoor. ZD010? Okay. The other one was what? The DZ? ZD030, right? I'll look that up as well. .311 Kingsman. Funny, Anthony, when you said Uncle Henry, that just, to me, the word Henry always reminds me of like cool lever actions. Surgical steel, so in the long run, we want to keep its edge. Yeah, but you just sharpen it up. Oh yeah, Outdoor. That's a good question, Anthony. How's it going, man? How's the recovery coming? Wait. I'm missing stuff. Simone's disappointed with the bosun's knife. Why? Yeah, Anthony. There's a lot. Yeah, you might be right. You may be right. I may be crazy. It might be the wires. There's a lot of wires up there. At some point, we're gonna redo the basement and all this crap is gonna get squared away. Oh, hiking. Okay, all right. We try to do this every Tuesday. I try to start it at 9. Tonight was an off night, but yeah, you're totally welcome to come back every week if you want. Hey, Hamza's here. Hi. Type of steel used in the blade of the splitting leather machine? Wait, let's get to that in a second. Multiple streams. Roper, okay. Calf roper. Oh, that makes more sense. Um, okay, so apparently the wires have minimal impact. Outdoor man, it'll when you get a dangler for that, it's gonna be so damn cool. Hamza is asking about the steel used in the blade of the splitting leather machine. Oh, Simone knows what that is. What is that? Someone want to tell me more about this? Hamza, in your recent like 5 questions video where someone asked like your favorite TV shows, I think it was, and you were like, they're Arabic, so no one's gonna know. I know exactly how that feels because I live in Quebec, where like some of the coolest shows on TV here are French. You know, so you talk about like, and some of my favorite movies are not Hollywood movies or British movies. You know, so when I'm asked these questions, I'm like, you know, what's your favorite movie? Well, no, my favorite movie is When Harry Met Sally, but like, what's your top 10? And half of them are like Quebecois or French. And people are like, because, the official language of the internet is English and everything. So it was just funny when you were doing that video, and I was like, I'm not Arab, but I'm French Canadian, and we have the same issues sometimes, you know? Is it good for forging a knife? Guys, what's a leather splitting knife? I would look it up, but I better not. Hamza, are you thinking of making a knife from one? Oh, is a leather splitting machine that thing that they use to make like suede, where they take the slick part of the leather off? Is that what we're talking about? Anthony, okay, recovering slowly but surely. Good, good. You know, yeah, Hamza, I don't know about that. Because if, as Simone says, it's a similar steel to razors, I wouldn't try to reforge that. I think it would become way too brittle. Oh, okay. Outdoor. All right, everyone, what's your favorite 3 movies? And Hamza, including you. If you say something that's Arabic, I'll look it up and see if there's something with subtitles. Outdoor, you start. The thing is, top 3 is hard to do. I could do a top 5. What the hell are my top 3 movies? I think in no particular order. When Harry Met Sally is my all-time favorite movie, and now that's not exactly a very masculine choice, but I'll tell you what. The reason is I went to school to write films, write and direct. My degree is in communications in the film stream at Concordia University. Excuse me. And the like, I honed it down to writing and directing films. And when Harry Met Sally has 2 things going for it. One, the script is spectacularly good. And the second thing, I'm trying not to burp again, is Billy Crystal. Because you never know if the line is so well written or if Billy Crystal is just that damn good. Because he is just that damn good. And I've seen that movie 47 times. Another one has to be Star Wars because I mean the first one, Episode 4, the first one. Not remastered, not recut, not reblah, not reblah, not reblah. The 1977 version where Han shot first, and it looked like a 1970s movie, because when I was 5 years old and sitting there opening week, that movie went and destroyed my freaking mind. I'd never seen anything like it before. And every time I see a big blockbuster movie since, I'm chasing that feeling. And I haven't gotten that feeling again. The music was Star Wars actually brought back orchestral music, because before Star Wars, most movies were using like a rock score or whatever, you know, and then suddenly there was John Williams, you know, writing some of the finest movie music ever. Like that scene where Luke is looking out over Tatooine and there's the two suns setting. Even though it was the first time people heard that song in 1977, it still had a familiar feel to it. Like John Williams is a very good writer in that he can get that effect where it sounds like you've heard this song a million times before, even though you've only heard it once. Anyway, oh, that's only two of my top three movies. What would another one be? What would another one be? Movies I absolutely love. Here's an interesting one. It's called The War Zone. Wait. Let me just make sure. Let me go back. Because I don't want to just, we asked outdoor. 1, Shooter, okay. 2, Defiance. 3, Jeremiah Johnson. Okay, I see there's a bit of a trend there. Okay, legit. Out Simo, he doesn't have time to watch movies. Okay. Empire Strikes Back, which is empirically the better of the 3 original Star Wars movies, I grant you. That movie was really good, to a very small meat. Well, it wasn't that small. That was definitely the best of the original 3. Better movie than the first one, but it didn't hit me the way the first one did, because for the first one, the only movies I'd seen before then were like kids things, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Yeah, nice. Dragon Ball Z, right? Dragon Ball Z, I guess. Dead Zone. Oh, Sash. Close Encounters of a Third Kind. Very legit choice. Aliens. Interesting. Not Alien, but Aliens. And The Usual Suspects. Oh, yeah, The Usual Suspects was good. LT. Oh, come on, yeah. Fifth Element, yes. Sixth Sense, also a good movie. And Star Wars Episode 4, right? Terminator, Rambo, and Dances with Wolves. I enjoyed Dances with Wolves. I don't like Costner, but I did enjoy that movie. Let me just see. Just see a black X in a box. Oh yeah, Hamza, Lawrence of Arabia, with was it Peter O'Toole? The one that's really long and has like the intermission in the middle. Actually, that's probably the only Lawrence of Arabia film they've made, right? But yeah, that was a good movie. Nice choice. Simo, I want to click that link, but I don't want to drop out. Which Victorinox is it? Oh. So outdoor, you didn't see his emoji? You just got a box with an X? Outdoor, yeah, the farmer's a nice one. It's a nice model. Oh yeah, my third. It's hard to say because I mean some of these movies that you guys are mentioning are films that I really liked. I think Lawrence of Arabia is a fabulous movie. I would definitely put that on my top 10. I also like Close Encounters. Oh, I really liked Streetcar Named Desire. I was when I was in theater school. Well, I wasn't in theater school. When I was taking acting lessons, I met a lot of people who have the same respect for script as I do. And if you read that play and you think back to the time when it was written, it was a spectacular piece of work. And it's funny because there's this tale. Is my bench falling apart? No. Um, yeah, Streetcar Named Desire. But I wanted to tell you guys about the War Zone because War Zone was the first time I'd ever gone to a movie. It played at like an art house cinema here. That was in the building that the old Softimage was in. Well, I think it might still be there, but now it's called Autodesk or something. If you guys don't know what Softimage is, if you ever saw Jurassic Park, you saw Softimage at work. It was still is, but the company doesn't exist anymore, even though the products do. 3D rendering and modeling. In fact, Jurassic Park, the original one, was the confluence of two great Montreal computer animation companies, Softimage and Discrete Logic, both of which are now just Autodesk. But anyways, so in the Softimage building, there was an art house theater, cinema. Excuse me. And I saw this movie called The War Zone, directed by Tim Roth, I think is his name. He was the guy who, in the beginning of Pulp Fiction, he and his girlfriend held up a coffee shop. That guy, he directed this. It was his directorial debut. It's a small-time British film about this family. Two youngish kids, like teenagers, 18-year-old brother and sister, brand new baby, mother and father. And the conceit of this film is that the father is doinking the daughter up the arse because he doesn't want to get her pregnant. But the thing about the movie is, in Hollywood, they just make the guy a monster, right? He's an ogre. Because it takes a certain amount of ogredom to fuck your own daughter. Let's face it. To have sex with your own daughter. But this film took a much more nuanced approach, right? This guy's a good family man in that he clearly loves his family. He's working hard to keep them fed. He talks to them, he pays attention to them and everything. He just happens to be doinking his daughter. And so it sort of brings this whole sort of like, because it's a much more realistic view, in a lot of ways. But it's a stark movie. It's well written. It rings true in a lot of ways, and it's horrifying. And it's the only time I've ever gone to a film, and when the curtain falls or the film is over, everyone gets up and walks out in utter silence. Nobody said a freaking thing. And that really sticks with me. Because that tells you that the movie was a success. Wasn't a happy ending or anything, but everybody just walked out thinking about what they'd just seen. Yeah. Sling Blade, yes. Hold on. Spaceballs is a good classic movie, yeah. Zachary, your girlfriend's brother ruined your farmer cutting skateboard tape. Jesus, I hope you kneecapped him. Sling Blade, yeah, that's a good. Wait, the Pioneer Nespresso, really? Hold on. Oh, that Victorinox. That's that Simone had. Okay, Skipper Pro. Okay. Is that a sailing knife? Hey, Simone, did you ever tell us why you didn't like the bosun's knife? End of the beer. End of the beer. Tack. I'm just sort of looking up what you guys are talking about. Yeah, by the way, I liked Sling Blade too. Funny thing, whenever I think about Billy Bob, B-Bob as I call him, I think about those of you who live north of the border. Oh, wait. The bosun's knife you purchase is not locking. Okay. Yeah. That would be an issue. Um, those of you who live up here probably remember, I mean, have probably listened to the CBC at some point. And on Q, which used to be hosted by the now disgraced Gian Gomeshi, an early harbinger for the Me Too movement, he interviewed Billy Bob and Billy Bob's band. And unbeknownst to Gian Gomeshi, funny, I feel bad even mentioning his name these days, but anyways, at the time, nobody had told Gian that B-Bob didn't want his Hollywood career being mentioned at all. And so Gian did this whole intro talking about how B-Bob is a blah blah blah, is successful, blah blah blah, and now he's also got this band. And man, B-Bob was the biggest asshole in the universe throughout that entire interview. Anthony, you saw that interview? So you know what I'm talking about then, right? And like his band is sitting there like, whoo. And so when John says, so you guys gonna play something? And they said, yeah, let's do that. And then like later, oh yeah, he called Toronto crowds like mashed potatoes without the gravy. I'm like, you have a show in Toronto tonight, dude. And apparently at the show, well, not apparently, at the show, you know, he sort of, between songs, he said, I just got to talk about this asshole, Gian Gomeshi. And of course he got booed. He just, you know, being famous doesn't mean you're right. It just means you got the loudest voice, you know? Anyways, it was funny. Gian Gomeshi will probably never work in radio again. He doesn't deserve it. But he was a really, really good interviewer. You know. Yeah, it is on YouTube. That's true. You like a classic Barlow knife? I don't know what you guys are talking about. Which is okay. By the way, sorry I didn't get my video up earlier this week. It's shot, but it ain't edited. I'm playing a wedding on Friday, and we haven't been playing very much lately. So hold on. Have you checked out GEC's number 15 blades? I'll take a look. We haven't been playing a lot lately, and so I've been sucking. And in a pub gig, you can suck a certain amount because people are drinking and having fun. At a wedding gig, you just can't do it. You're getting paid a lot more, and the expectation is much higher. So every single night I've been practicing, except tonight, but I will after we're done here. I will. Oh, it's 11. Let's go to 11:30 because I was so late tonight. Okay. So every night I practice like all night. And it's funny, man. I'm practicing and practicing, and I don't. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be great. Oh yeah, there's Simon asking the status of my last video. Anyways, so I've got stuff shot. I just have to edit it. I don't know when. Tomorrow night we're gonna go and see the soccer, the football, the footy, seeing the Impact play against someone. We got the tickets a while ago. It's not a great idea to be going this week, but we got the tickets a while ago, and I do love me the beautiful game. Zachary Fudge, GEC is number 15. I took note of that. Simo's got a Blade HQ link on there, which I will not be clicking on. Yeah, LT at the Sapporo Stadium, you know, cheese, soccer. Yeah, so we're gonna be going. Camille likes the soccer. We got her in a soccer class, which she likes very much. We had her in a soccer class, and then we let it lapse. And then she's like, "Daddy, how come I'm not going to soccer?" So I was like, "Okay, we're just gonna get you back into the soccer." 5-minute walking distance, yeah. I don't like a sheep's foot very much either. My tastes in blade shape are that because of what we were talking about. I love the sort of the old-fashioned aspect of it. Same reason I like a Nessmuk or a Kephart. No, it's a Kephart. And of course, oh, it's in my bush bag. The Woodlore, my favorite blade shape of all time. Serge has asked a very good question, which I will answer in no uncertain terms. Serge is saying, straight edge or partially serrated? What do you all think? Go. I say straight all the way. I don't like me no serrations. I don't like the fact that they happen right where I need the knife for carving, right? Like, piss off. Piece of wood, right? Gun show. Just kidding. See where I'm carving? I'm trying to get it high enough. See where I'm carving? See what part of the knife of the blade I'm carving with? That's exactly where I don't want serrations. And many, many knives. Simone can show you one that's different. But many knives are serrated right there. I don't want that. If you have to have it serrated, which I don't want anyway, do it up there. Because you don't carve with that. Whoa. Maybe you should. No, you don't get the control. You know, you carve down here. You know? So no, I don't like serrations. I'm not cutting my way out of a burning helicopter. I don't need no serrations. Good for cutting rope. I will definitely admit that, but no. Fine edge all the way for me. Outdoor like spear point or drop point. Yeah, Nessmuk would be an exception. Yeah, we understand each other. But what Simon says about the sheep's foot is fairly true, though. You know, they're task specific. Apparently, okay, Zachary, I'm gonna look up these GEC or GEC knives after this. Yeah, Simon, you're thinking about that. Which knife was it where the serrations were up here? What was that? Was that a Victorinox? Oh, are we having the stainless discussion again? I'm learning to like stainless. I don't think I'll ever like it as much as I like carbon steel, but I like it more than I thought I would. Hey, is Hamza still around? Yeah, Simo. I was pretty sure it was a Victorinox. Hey, Hamza. Um, a lot of us keep talking about like stainless steel versus carbon steel, and like in where I used to spend my summers around British Columbia, you're right next to an ocean. So stainless steel is better because, rust and all that. But around where you live, like there's an ocean up there, but it seems pretty arid to me. What do you use? Do you use stainless steel or carbon steel? Uncle Henry's all stainless, okay. Carbon steel's the best. Yeah, man. Yeah. Um, it's funny though, whenever like if I was in British Columbia, I would probably still be doing the stainless thing just because near salt water, but carbon. Carbon. I don't have my sweet Australian knife with me. Give me a second. We're going to go into the other room and get it. I have a 6-year-old, okay? I'm not happy about that. Carbon. Made in Australia. Um, that's my favorite blade shape right there. It's funny how similar to the Kephart. It's not really, but like they're a little similar. Kepharts don't tend to be this thick though. But I love me some Scandi. I love me a Woodlore blade shape. Just my favorite. Man. One day, guys, I'm going to win the lottery and then I'm going to order a Jack Lore. LT, yeah, the Gonzo is definitely it's stainless. That's true. For a folder, I wouldn't insist on carbon for a folder. I think that the context is different enough that stainless is fine. There's a knife company called Survive Knives. Do you guys know them? They use some sort of super stainless, I think, or super steel. One of those really high octane, super modern steels. They're one of those where you can jam it into a wall like this and do pull-ups on it, chin-ups, pull-ups, whatever it's called, and it's not going to bend on you. Mr. Mike Morton missed my beer in a glass. Oh, you know who else I wish was here? Paul Bakima. I wonder where he is. He might be out with the scouts. Your Victorinox Forester is now your lunch knife? Okay. So, What I'm getting from this is that if I wanted an Uncle Henry, I would want to buy a vintage one. I think that in all cases, when a company gets bought out, what I want is the pre-buyout model of whatever. Not necessarily true of Winchester rifles. I think that Fabrique Nationale is doing has done amazing things with the brand. I am okay with the fact that my Winchester is a Fabrique Nationale era design. But like, it seems that in knives, companies don't buy other companies and really save the business. They buy other companies and cheap out on the work, you know. Okay, and now Schrade's been bought out by Smith & Wesson. Okay. So you only use the serrated Spyderco for rope work? Excuse me. Do I have any serrated knives left? Oh yeah. Where is it? This one, right? This one's definitely serrated. This is definitely the ugliest knife I own. Love the serrations. I love how beaten up it's getting though. I've told you guys all about this one, right? My workshop knife, my crowbar. Although the fact that this pommel is a little loose now, that bugs me. That bugs me because this knife, the price that the LMF2 commands and the whole made in USA thing, that shouldn't be happening. That bugs me. But you know what? This knife never comes into the bush with me, so maybe it's not that big a deal. I would never bring this to the bush. No, it's not a full tang. What it is the tang. The tang goes to about there, and then or there, and then there's a little bit of space, and then there's this metal part. The idea being that because this is a straight up survival knife. Okay, this is not a bushcraft knife. This knife is what you use to cut yourself out of a burning helicopter, and the idea is because you're touching. The idea is that you run less risk of electrocuting yourself if you cut through a wire, like if you happen to be touching this or whatever. That's the concept. Is that it's an anti-electrocution thing. But anyway, where are we? LMF2 is not a full time. No, BHK feather stick. Oh, and 01, my favorite steel. BHK feather stick. You guys are gonna have me looking stuff up all night. Canadian cutting edge. I will look that up. Yeah, LT, I remember you talking about the Jess X and the Fro. Outdoor, yeah, that real steel bushcraft too. I looked those up. Yeah, I heard that Shred really buggered the Jess X thing up. CPM 4V. A lot of people, a lot of knives made in that CPM 4V. Lots of knives. Lots of knives. Yes. Man, I do love to just sort of zen out and carve some feathers. Oh, you guys can't see what I'm doing. I shall do it up here. Just kidding. Stupid thing to do. I just love cutting the feather stickage. Doop. Edge retention. The thing I like about 02, 01, the thing I like about 01 is the edge retention is pretty good and the sharpening is easy. It's like it's the best of both worlds. You know, whereas some of these sort of super steels, the edge retention is great, but when it finally goes on you, you're working forever to grind that stuff into a point, you know, into a nice edge, you know. Zachary, yeah. Zachary says to help him sleep some nights, he imagines cutting feathers and he's out in minutes. Yeah. I think what Simone was saying is interesting though, because like so much of what we take as current wisdom is partly marketing. You know, like I think that what Simone says is true. Almost any steel is going to be good, provided you know how to use, like, provided you know how to sharpen it. You have a feel for how much use to do before you have to sharpen it again. You know. No, I didn't see Hamza's video on that stove. I saw the video there, but I haven't had time to click on it because I've been spending all my time playing bass. But I am gonna check it out. That is, see, Zachary, yeah, exactly. 1095 was good enough for our grandparents. You know, and I am about steels the way I'm about rifle rounds. I like old school stuff that's everywhere. Everyone knows how to deal with it. Period. You know, I don't need any super steels. You know, as far as I would go is I've got a real yen for a Felkniven F1 with the Zytel sheath. That knife is all kinds of things that I don't usually consider to be Jesse stuff, right? It's a ugly plastic handle, whereas I like wood. It's a convex grind, which up until that little knife that I showed you guys last time, or a couple of videos ago, I didn't have any convex grinds. It's a plasticky sheath. What, you know? And it's stainless. But there's something about that knife that I really, man, I'd like one. I'd like one, because I'm seeing knives in contextual ways. Because every now and again I do fly 4,000 kilometers to the other end of the country. And to me, a knife I would use in British Columbia is a stainless one. To me, a knife I would use around here is carbon steel. My favorite grind is Scandi, but I definitely see the benefit of a convex. You know. Let me see. Let me see where we are, because I'm. Rat 2 is AUS 8. Yep. Okay. few swipes on a ceramic. Yeah, outdoor if you're just honing it. Oh yeah, why not, right? And I don't mind the 440C. I'm with the LT. I think this is 440. 440C. It's fine. You know what? I've been using it. I don't know how to sharpen those little tiny edges, so I haven't done anything other than strop it. And I'm cutting, I'm opening boxes, I'm this, I'm that, and it's working fine. So yeah, I know. Tempering. Of course. That's a truism, guys. It almost goes without saying. Outdoor Dauber. I'm gonna try that again. Outdoor Dauber bought the R. Murphy instead of the Cold Steel Canadian belt knife, and I think he made a better purchase in a lot of ways. More expensive, but I don't. But I'm utterly convinced that this is not a full tang. In fact, I bloody know it's not. The R. Murphy is. This is a cheap plastic handle. The R. Murphy's wood. What kind of wood was it again? So like rosewood or something? I don't remember. Um, it's a cool knife. The Canadian belt knife is a cool knife. Zebra wood, right. Oh, I didn't know that the Bokertech tools were the same as the Moras. It's a good steel too, but I don't have that. I've got the carbon. Yeah, R. Murphys are expensive here. Outdoor and I have been having this conversation for weeks now. He's like, "Hey, look at this knife. It costs $5," and I look it up on Amazon.ca and it's like 130. Like, eh. But you know. I like these too. I mean, these carbons. I think it's good steel. Especially because these knives are pound, a pound a penny or whatever. But I'm trying to come up with you know what I'm saying, 10 for a dollar kind of thing. They're not, but like $20 knives, 14 to $20 knives. It's a great steal for that kind of price. It's a great handle for that kind of price. Like if this isn't that much more expensive than this, but in terms of like what you get, this knife feels like it's twice the price. The handle's good. Like, okay, this part here is like a little slippery, but this is all like that's not going to slip out of your hands. Same with this one. Non-stick. These come off as a much more expensive knife than this one does. All this one has going for it is the blade, is the shape. The fact that it is absolutely a straight up Canadian belt knife. Everything from this weird handle shape to this blade shape to the jimping. Yeah. Outdoor. Man, if we could find a way for you to be my knife source, that would be amazing. Just making sure I'm not missing too much of the, not good. Okay, I'm caught up. Excuse me. 5 minutes left, guys, and then I gotta go. Gotta go and do stuff. Oh, Simone. I'm not gonna go? Said Vic Steel is bien. You know what else is bien? My goddamned Amadou. I knew I was going to remember it at some point. I'm loving this. I don't know why it took me so long to try this out, but I regret how long it took. I'm loving this. I'm using it a lot. Yeah, maybe next year. Maybe I'll go next year, yeah. How do we pronounce that again? Wheat Wayin? Wheat Wayin? That's not true. That's not right. How do we pronounce that, Outdoor? You told us, but I've forgotten. Yeah, because by next year, maybe I won't be trying to build a freaking fence. Outvine, right. Did you try it with F and S yet? Flint and steel? Yes, yes I did. Sure damn did. I'll tell you what. I'm going to do a video on it. Yeah. I try everything with flint and steel, dude. It's my favorite. Attack fire. I love me the flint and steel, as you guys well know. Okay, sure thing, Serge. I have to have my fence finished by like the middle of July. No ifs, ands, or buts. I have a hard deadline on that. The gas is cheaper than water in the U.S. It's more expensive than blood in Canada. Man, I love it. It's funny that like at one point, because I used to hate sharpening, and I still don't love it, but at one point I was doing it and I just sort of zoned out while I was doing it. No, Outdoor, a vid is coming. It's definitely coming. But now that I've sort of hooked into the zone out, the zen out aspect of like just sharpening a knife or honing it or whatever, it's Simon, your weekend schedule is full until mid-July. Mine probably is too. It's horrible. I got a wedding this week. I'm playing a corporate gig in Victoria, British Columbia next Friday, and then a pub gig in Victoria on Saturday. So I'll be flying on Sunday. It's just like I'm watching the summer just go, you know. What are our Grail knives? You mean like our Holy Grail knives? Mine is definitely a Jack Lore, his classic bushcraft knife, with olive wood scales and black liners, tapered tang, and his mosaic pins, with a matching fire ferro rod and a dangler. That's my Holy Grail knife. Either that or exactly the same thing with a desert ironwood handle and yellow or orange liners. Probably the olive wood though. What's yours, Zachary? Oh, LT, okay. Going the tops. Tops Tahoma field knife, okay. Oh, Zachary. The Chris Reeves small left-handed Sebenza. Is it pronounced Sebenza or Sabinza? I think it's Sebenza, right? It's a good choice. Chris Reeves, big name, well-deserved big name. No, like no turleys on the channel tonight. No one jonesing for a turley. UO. Oh, I think he was about to write outdoor. Yeah. Yeah, you'll say Hamza. Yeah, yeah. Ray Mears' woodlore is definitely is the reason I got this one made. You know, and it's the reason I like Jack lures so much too. Right? They're all. This is a Ray Mears um, oriented design for sure. Mm-hmm. LT, the Canadian, the CBL knife from Groman. Yep. New Mexico sharpshooter. Hey, you're just in time for the. We're bringing it down to the end of the evening here. Oh, it's after 11:30. Let's go to 11:45. I guess I'm not practicing tonight. But at 11:45, guys, chunk done. Grill knife is a Jeff White Nesmith right now. I know. Oh, me too. I want one. Yeah, Zachary. There's a huge weight on the Ramirez knife, and of course they're onto their what third or fourth knife maker now because the previous one died. Um, and it's interesting how every time they change makers, the knife changes just a little bit, but it's always within that same woodlore design. Sorry, guys, but yeah, whew. The thing is, I don't know if I would buy an actual Ramirez knife. Like, they're expensive as hell, dude. Like, expensive as hell. And I feel that the Jack lore is just as good as you will ever get. And with like mosaic pins and special woods and stuff, you know, and like one guy sort of making it. Well, he used to make them custom. Now he doesn't, but you know. Um, LT any folder that costs more than. For me, it's that, but it's that Benchmade 940. You know. Cold Cracker Bushcraft is working on his own knife. Gotta start that again. Cold Cracker Bushcraft is working on his own knife line. Outdoor, I am also anxious to see what he comes out with in terms of designs. You guys obviously know that Joe Robinette has a knife line out now. A nice British made knife. Oh man, when I saw it, I was like, I'm buying it. And then I saw the price and thought, I'll buy it next year. But it's a really cool take. It's Woodlore-esque, but not totally. It's like you could see that Joe has been thinking long and hard about what is a successful knife in his hand. It's really nice. I definitely can't afford it. It's a small run, so it's like if you don't get on it now, you'll probably never have the chance again, but I just can't do it. Oh, Hamza Skookum, right, okay. Yeah, that's a cool choice. A lot of people love that Skookum. Uh, um, I just got a glimpse of the Dave Canterbury knife new line. I um, I didn't get a very good look at it though. Is it worth looking at closer? Yeah, but Zachary, Kyle knows where he has a 940. One of his viewers gifted him one. Hello. Wow. That's the kind of thing that like I couldn't even imagine that happening, you know? But the thing is, Kyle knows what like he's got a lot of subs and he's really in like a lot of his videos are knife related. He's good at what he does, so he's well deserving of that kind of a gift in a lot of ways, you know. Um, but yeah, still really cool that somebody gifted him because yeah, that was his dream knife, you know, and he's got one and he still really likes it. Outdoor there, 125 US. Okay. 10 months backlog, yeah. No surprise there, though. No surprise there at all, you know. Um, what I find interesting is how um, oh, I need to go to bed soon. find it interesting how like so many one man shops. Like, do you guys know Scott from Wessex Blades? Wessex Blades and Bushcraft is his YouTube channel. I've been looking at, yeah, LT. We agree that 940 man. Um, I've been watching his knife building for years now, and when he started out, um, yeah, we say, "What's with you is day with your heart? Do you understand me?" I don't understand anything. Um, Zachary, I think I'd go for the G10 because that's the slightly cheaper one, right? I love the look of the aluminum handles when on knives that have been used for a long time and they're starting to like the paint is going away on the corners. Oh, I love that. I like the look of well used tools. But just in terms of realisticness, the G10, I think that one's called the 942 or the 940B or something, isn't it? Doesn't it have like a dash something on the name? I have no problem with G10. It doesn't age. It doesn't get that really cool aged look the way the painted aluminium does, but still. Um, but yeah, so I would probably go for the G10. More affordable. Actually, probably because I live in Canada, probably more comfortable in the winter because um, the temperature of a knife handle makes a big bloody difference. Zachary, yeah, they got the Boba Fett look exactly. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Um, but what the hell was I saying? Yeah, I've been watching Scott for a long time, and when he first started making custom knives, it was like, yeah, okay, they're custom knives, but they didn't have like the fit and finish that like a Jacklor had or whatever. But I find these days, man, his knives, I don't like all the designs very much. It's not a style that I gel with, but his work has come leaps and bounds since he started. It's exciting to see because you don't often get to watch someone go from like a beginning knife maker to someone whose stuff is of a level with, you know, other successful knife makers. And he's a nice guy too. I like watching his videos. I think he deserves success. Um, I don't think it's the 943. I think the 943 is the one with the more conventional blade shape. Simo would get both. If you had the money to get both, well, you might, but I would not. I don't have the money to get one, so both. Outdoor. Yeah, where is Scott? Check out the pocket worn line of folders from Case. Ooh, Case. Yeah, the 940-2. That's what I'm thinking about. Case makes nice knives. Case makes nice knives. Wow, that sounded really weird. They make really cool. Kyle Noseworthy really liked Case as well. And it's funny because it's generally a style that I haven't really been into, but now that I'm thinking that I want to make my little Nesmix trio, I keep looking at them, to get that little, like the little two-blade folder that the Nesmix trio calls for. But that's the thing, I don't want something that's too collectible. Anything I use, any of these knives are getting used. And in fact, hilariously, all these knives get used semi-regularly. This one, whenever I have to do something, beefy. This is my Bushcraft knife de Choix. This is my beer opener. I also use it around the shop, but not as much as this one. This I will also usually, I used to carry sort of in my bag as my backup knife just in case something happened, but now that's like this one. And this one I'm carrying around because I'm trying to use this one a lot up until like the end of the season to get a really good review going. So the Pocket Warren series is kind of like Warren jeans. Like, you know, you spend an extra $100 for someone to kick the crap out of your jeans. Or the Fender Road Worn series. It's a good look. I prefer to create the worn look by just using something over time, though, which is an interesting thing about stuff like this. LT, is this G10? I don't remember. Like, it doesn't like wear, you know, the way like the aluminum and stuff does. Bear and Son. Okay, I'll take note of that. Gonzo is G10, yeah. It felt like G10, but I wasn't sure. Because I don't have a massive amount of knowledge about folders, I'm always afraid to say something and come off like a fool, you know? What I like about this is that the handle shape is perfect. I have small mitts, but this is not too big, it's not too small. It's good in the hand. It's really good in the hand. 3 minutes, and then we're closing this thing down for this week. Is G10 glass-filled nylon? I don't know. Oh, the buck canoe knife. Yeah, you're not the first person to say that to me. Serge, don't you have a buck canoe knife? No, you don't have a buck canoe knife, eh? I'm going to look it up again. And for stuff like that, stainless isn't a problem. You kind of want... Anthony, okay, have a good night. Have a good night. Everyone say bye to Anthony. Thank you, Outdoor. Oh, yours is a Bowie, right. Hey, how's that that knife you blued coming along? You done any more work on that? G10 is fiber glass, fiber matte, but not loose strand. Okay. Good night, Hamza. Speak to you next week, I hope. Okay, you know what? A bunch of guys are going to bed, so let's just cut it out here. We're at 23:43. You know, it's late for me as well. So, oh, Serge, you've been working on a handle. Let's chat a bit more this week, Serge. And I guess yeah, let's close it down. I'll see you guys next week, I hope. So, thanks for hanging out. If you like what I'm doing, do this, do that, the other. Give me a smiley thumb. If you don't like what I'm doing, give me a frowny thumb. See you later, guys.